So our next speaker is Shivangi Khurania, a master's student in Hotel Administration and Management Information Systems. Her presentation title is Building Better Businesses, Rebels Make It Happen. Shivangi.
Did you know how hard it is to sustain a business in the food and beverage industry? Well, statistics show that about only 20% businesses succeed in the first 5 years of being in operations. There's about 2.5 small family-owned and operated businesses here in the United States. And it's quite sad that only 20% of them get to succeed. I personally think that this is not fair. Now you might be wondering, why am I so passionately advocating for these small business owners and their lack of opportunity to be able to succeed in the industry? Well, the story goes back to spring 2020 when I first started grad school. I started my first class as in the e-commerce class, and our group and I were tasked with a project to say, well, go find a problem for a very specific industry, and then go find a solution for it and create a business plan. So that's exactly what I did. Happened to be that I saw my friend Jacob that evening. My friend Jacob is a chef at a 3-Michelin star restaurant here in Las Vegas, and I was attending his underground pop-up in his apartment to support him. Well, his biggest challenge was that he couldn't find a business partner where he could really go and test his concept and his business. So I took it upon myself to try and solve his problem, and I took it to my group where we created the solution of an Airbnb version of a kitchen rental site. The project was called Sue Kitchen, and we ended the class with flying colors. I mean, our professor loved the project, and I ended up getting out of the class even more passionate about this project than I thought I was gonna. I was so passionate that my family and my uncle decided to invest in my business that wasn't even created yet. And he was like, well, I'll give you money, just go and start this business. And I was like, I'm just a grad student. I don't know how to start this business. So I ended up contacting the Troche Center of Entrepreneurship at UNLV and met Leith, who runs the department. And after meeting him, Leith gave me an even harder challenge and was like, well, go and talk to 100 business owners and find what their challenges are, and then come back to me when you do that. Well, 2.5 months later, I had contacted and spent time with about 60 business owners and understood what their challenges really were. And this was in the midst of pandemic, so I felt like I was acting like their therapist, to be very honest. But shortly after, I ended up founding my company. My company is named Udesso, and my first product was a space sharing matchmaking platform. Think about Airbnb and a dating app, and if they had a baby, that's exactly what it looked and felt like. Well, the goal of this app was to bring the community together and help the community in the food and beverage industry realize that there was creative ways for them to expand their business, increase their ROI beyond just kitchen rentals, and partner together so they can all rise together. In a month and a half, I ended up helping about 40 businesses grow. And I knew that there was a product market fit because these businesses started to wanting to almost throw money at me because how much I helped them. Well, think about a juicery and a meal prep company, and if they met together and became roommates, that's exactly what happened in one of the examples. And they expanded their business, increased their ROI, and now they're doing ghost kitchen concepts together. Not only that, a brunch-only restaurant in the morning and a dinner concept at nighttime. So we were playing around and being very creative. But I found myself into another challenge. After helping these businesses grow, I did not know how to keep them in my ecosystem. They were just happily ever after, and my services were well used. But I wanted to keep them in my ecosystem so I can grow my company and strategically plan it so I can expand it nationwide. So I went back to my customers, and I started picking their brains again to understand exactly what their problems were and how they operated their business. So after interviewing quite a few businesses again, I found out that the path of sustaining a business could be quite complex. Anywhere from finding the perfect product market fit to making sure that their licenses are compliant at all times along with their employee licenses and permits. Not only that, they had to make sure that their buildings were maintained and compliant, along with making sure vendor relations, payroll, labor management, and the list goes on until they reach the finish line. And for a small family-owned small business owner, they do it all by themselves. So I took it upon myself to say, okay, let me create product number 2, and product number 2 is called Pepper. The goal of Pepper is to help streamline a lot of compliance-related tasks and bridge the gap between government agencies and small business owners. Pepper helps small business owners automate license renewal between all the states, jurisdictions, and the health department. Not only that, Pepper helps automate the compliance and reminder aspect for business owners to maintain their building compliance and their equipment compliance, along with making sure that all their employees are compliant at all times. Not only that, Pepper helps business owners get reminded about all the grants and funding opportunities that become available in their state and the jurisdictions that they have their business in. Well, I hope, and I personally hope, that as I grow this business, I'm able to help small business owners streamline processes so they can be efficient in a more cost-effective way, so they can focus on what they truly love and why they really started their business in the first place, so that all of us can rise together as a community and make an impact. Lastly, I'm working on a very cool partnership, and I hope that it goes through. It's a partnership with Clark County, and this partnership would give me access to over 23,000 businesses, so that in the food and beverage industry alone, so I can offer my product to the masses and help change a way in how businesses are run. I know I have a long way to go, but with the help of UNLV and all the resources that are always surrounding me and supporting me, I can truly say that rebels make it happen. Thank you.